password, your bulletproof vest. Your bulletproof vest.
Hello, this is Ear Trash, and this is going to be part 8 on the final part of my Dubstep tutorial series. If you haven't seen the other parts, then please click the annotation on the left to go to the first part, or the annotation on the right, and that'll take you to the last part. So, I'd like to thank everybody who's been rating the videos and commenting and all that good stuff. It's been really helping my channel out, and so thank you very much. In this part, I'm basically going to go over what I've done to the track since my last video, and I'm going to show you a bit of mastering and rendering. So first things first, here's a sort of minimal sound that I added, just with a couple drum samples or percussion samples. And it's kind of offbeat, just kind of add that eerie effect to the rise. I've put that in a few different places in the track. And I've got some cymbals here, and I'll give you a listen to that. Here we go. And you can kind of hear that they've got a pitched sound, and that's basically all that is I've enabled glide on the sampler and put in alternating notes, so that it's kind of pitching up, pitching down, and so on. And I've added in a kind of distorted hi-hat sound as well, just randomly, and that kind of just adds a bit more kind of darkness to the tune in the background. There's our rise. Yeah, here we've got our Zeta, which is a plugin I'm using for the synth, and I'll give you a listen to that. And I've put in an arpeggiator before the Zeta, and that basically creates a kind of Mario sound because I've automated the rate of the arpeggio. So that's kind of cool, I think. It's also quite cheesy at the same time, but it'll do. I've added in a different gun sound because I thought the sound that was in the original track was a bit fake sounding. It wasn't really clear, so I've recorded a gun sound from a popular first-person shooter. And a cookie goes to anybody who can guess what gun this is, or what game it's from. I'll give you a listen to that. And I've left in the sort of reloading sound before that, so it kind of sounds like the gun's getting cocked. What else we got here? We've got a send return for a reverb. Well, it's actually got 2 reverbs and 2 filters, and that's basically just adding a white noise sound to the back of the track. You can't really hear it until it's not there, if you know what I mean. It's just a very subtle sound. But when you take it out of the tune, then you can notice it's not there anymore. I've also got some ping pong delay and some simple delay, compressed, and all that's going through that is the vocals. So we're also getting some clean vocals coming through and some more delay. I'll let you hear that. Oh yeah, and on the vocal track here I've done some cats, and that's basically just to add a cool wee effect to it. And that's pretty much what we've done to the track. I'll put a link in the description to the full track so you can hear it, but in this tutorial I'm just going to kind of go over the processes I've done. So here's our master track, and on the master I've got an EQ8, and I've set that to left-right mode, and I've got some complementary EQ on that. Basically all that is when you take one frequency out on the left channel, on the right channel it's being boosted. So it's not very noticeable again, but it does add a bit of dynamics. And I've also got multi-band dynamics on the track there, and I've just used this kind of like an EQ just to even out the different frequencies in the track. And because there was so much sort of stereo stuff going on with the track, with the ping pong delay and all that, I've put in a utility and just taken the stereo width down to about 84%. And basically that just keeps everything stereo sounding, but not over the top, so everything kind of gels together, and that's really important. So what this essentially is our mastering track. There are VSTs, one called Isotope Ozone, that basically does all this for you, and there's different presets, and it'll change all the different parameters here for you, and it's all built into one VST. But there's not really much point in buying a plugin like that if you can just do it with Ableton plugins itself. Just put them in a similar order like this. Always have a limiter on at the end, or thereabouts. That spectrum isn't actually doing anything, but have a limiter on after the processing effects, and that'll basically keep everything in check. Now that the track's mastered as such, and I'm quite happy with the sound and it's sounding quite full, then what I could do is I could render the track to make it an audio file. And the way most of you will do this is probably just file, export audio, and WAV, 48,000 sample rate, bit depth, 24-bit, no differ. The dithering, that can change. You can put that to power 1, 2, 3, and basically that'll compress it to a smaller file. But if you're wanting to have one original WAV that you can keep safe backed up off your track, then I would recommend using no dithering and just 48 and 24. You could increase these as well if you wanted to, but there's not really much point. And another way of doing this is you could record it into a third-party program like SoundForge here, and basically just hit record and then record whatever's coming out of Ableton Live. And I actually prefer doing it this way if the end product is going to be an MP3, because this saves you encoding, then decoding, then encoding and decoding, and thus creates less loss in quality. If you're wanting to just get an MP3 out for YouTube or whatever, I would recommend using a third-party program like Sony SoundForge or Wavelab or Nero Wave Editor, anything like that that can record what you hear. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to do some more work on this track, I think, and try and get it sounding a bit better. But in the meantime, I'd like to thank everyone who's been supporting my series and my channel by commenting, rating, subscribing and all that good stuff. It's quite encouraging to know that you are all enjoying my videos, and I'll definitely be doing more videos like this in the near future. Also, there will be a link to this track that's going to be on the SoundCloud page, and you can go and check it out and let me know what you think about it. So thanks for watching, and I hope everybody's taken something from this and learned something new. And I'll see you in the next video.
Don't forget to burn your bulletproof vest.